Welcome to the Amazon's podcast. I'm Glenn Young, owner of Amazon's fitness magazine, Celebrate the Female Physique. Subscribe to amazonsfitmag.com. The podcast is brought to you by GPS Photography and Video. Why photography and video? Because if a photo's worth 1,000 words, video's worth 1,000,000. GPSphotoandvideo.com. And of course, Amazon's fitness magazine is a publication of GPS Photography and Video. My guest, IFBB figure, soon to be Olympian, and I'm gonna try to get this name right. Vira Madueme.
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 Madueme, yes.
Madueme. All right. There we go. Thanks for coming on the podcast. I really appreciate you. Saw you at the Triple O Dynasty, and I was like, okay, well, who's this? And then I was glad to find out later that you were there in Greensboro, North Carolina. So that's great.
Thank you for the invite. I appreciate it.
Really appreciate you coming on. And like I said, I try to cast a wide net and recruit everything that I can out of North Carolina. So I guess I need to do a better job, you know.
Yeah, I've been doing this for 5 years, and I just discovered you. So we need to get you out there.
Yeah, that's crazy. And of course, the magazine started in 2022. But yes, but we're gonna make that happen. So tell everyone about you, though, because this is about you.
Okay, well, my name is Elvira Madueme, but most people call me Vira. I'm known as Vira Moves on IG. That's my IG handle. I have been bodybuilding for the past 5 years. I started in 2020 as a hobby because my profession is I'm a hospital pharmacist. So that's my career. That's what I do full time. So I find the time on my off times to pursue this fitness avenue, bodybuilding, which I discovered, like I said, 5 years ago, and I've since fallen in love with it. It's been a great experience. I started doing this just as COVID hit, and I found that it's been a great stress reliever, a place for me to go just to reinvigorate myself. And I've been able to prioritize it, even though it means certain things have fallen on the wayside. I do have a family, wife. I have 2 kids, teenagers. One of them is graduating this year.
Oh, congratulations.
Head to college. So a very busy year trying to do this, and also head to the Masters Olympia. But that's the goal, and that's what we're going to do.
Now, where's your child headed to school at? Where's he
UNC Charlotte.
Oh, well, he's right there.
He's right. Yeah, he's right. He's right here. Yeah, he's a homebody, so he's not straying too far from home.
What's going to be his major?
So he's still deciding between engineering and computer science.
Well, that's great because computer science is really blowing up huge.
Yeah.
With everything that's going on, especially when you talk about cybersecurity and things like that. So you are a pharmacist.
I'm a pharmacist. I've been in a hospital pharmacist for my entire career. So I've just worked in hospital acute care settings. Yeah.
So when you look at that in the last 5 years and you talk about COVID, how stressful was that in your medical field with all of everything that was going on with COVID and everyone that was passing away from it?
Yeah. If you weren't in the medical field, in the healthcare field, especially in hospital environments, you may not have been aware of how bad it was. It was very, very bad. We actually opened a hospital that was purely for COVID patients. We took a hospital that had been shut down and we opened it, and we figured out how to staff it just to take care of COVID patients. We saw death all the time. It was a very hard time, especially for our nurses and those healthcare workers who worked at the bedside. I fortunately was a little bit far removed from the patients themselves, but I certainly was around it and saw the effect that it had on the community. We also had a lot of situations where we had to cut staff just because of the nature of the situation. And so it was stressful. I was in management at that time. So I was taking care of my people, and my people were very stressed and going through a time with it. And so, like I said, I had discovered bodybuilding right around that time,
Yeah.
and it really, I think it really saved me. It
Hmm.
helped. It was where I went to kind of re-energize myself, because working in the hospital in that environment was extremely draining.
Oh,
It was
yes.
extremely draining, and I didn't want to take that back home to my family. So before I went home, I went to the gym. I was in there for 2 hours,
Hmm.
working out, relieving that stress, being with myself, just getting back into my center, being at peace, and then being able to go home and, take care, give myself fully to my family, and then being able to turn right back around and go back to the hospital and give myself to my patients and
Hmm.
my workers. So it really was bodybuilding, I think, really helped me through that time.
So you started, you were just going in the gym and it was just like chopping wood, just lifting everything and not too much organization. So who discovered you and put you on
So
this bodybuilding journey?
yeah, so I've been relatively fit for most of my life.
Right.
I ran track in high school. That was my
Hmm.
sport, track and field.
Okay.
Um, I wasn't good enough to do it in college, but I spent a year, I think, just kind of hanging out with the track and field folks. And I realized that I grew up in Europe. So when I came to America, I realized that the level of competition was like way more than I'd experienced in Europe, and I couldn't hang with those folks. So I focused on my studies, but I stayed active. I did a
Right.
lot of different things. Since then, I've done like, just amateur novice ballroom dancing. I've tried tennis. So
Okay.
I've done other things to stay active, and then I've
Hmm.
also been at the gym, just kind of fooling around, lifting. And over the years, I've had people come up to me and ask me, do I bodybuild? Is that something I'm interested in? And I've never, not once have I wanted to do it, primarily
Hmm.
because I didn't think I had the dedication to, or the discipline to
Right.
manage my diet. So I just didn't even give it a thought.
Hmm.
But when I turned 40, my dear, I
You
started,
don't look it.
when I turned 40, I started the weight started kind of hanging out with me like
Yeah.
it never had before. I had good genetics, and I was always lean. I could eat
Right.
crap all day long, and it never showed externally. I'm not sure what's going on with my internally, but externally it never showed
Very
until
high metabolism, huh?
yeah, good high metabolism. But when I turned 40, I started gaining a little bit. And that was when around that time, I actually took a trip to Jamaica. My
Hmm.
sister had a destination bachelorette thing. So she took me and her bridesmaids to
Hmm.
Negril, Jamaica, and I spent a
Nice.
week there. And it was like a fateful trip. I fell in love with the country, with the people, the music, and especially the food. Like it just took me back to home. I'm originally from Nigeria, and
Hmm.
so just eating healthy. Um, and you can taste the flavor in the food when it's like from the ground. It's unprocessed,
Hmm.
it's just clean, whole foods. We had a Rastafarian who actually moved in with us and became our personal chef, and he cooked for us the entire time.
Wow.
um, and I felt so good. My skin felt so good. And so when I came back to the States, I kind of made a decision then to try to continue that healthy lifestyle in terms of how I ate, to kind of match what I do, like
Right.
physically. And around that time, a young lady approached me at the gym and asked me, "Hey, do I bodybuild that I could step on stage right then?" Is what she said, and probably
Mm.
do really well. And for the first time, I considered it. I went home and I thought about it. I went back to her and I said, "Hey, do you have a coach in mind that I could, train with?" And she hooked me up with someone here in Greensboro, and that's how it started.
Tell me
So
about how you ended up in the United States because you grew up overseas, right?
I grew up overseas. So I was born in Nigeria. My parents are first generation Nigerians. They got married, and my father actually works for the well, he's retired now, but he worked for the United Nations.
Okay.
So he ended up in Austria, Vienna, Austria. So that's where I spent my formative years, was in Vienna, Austria. I went to primary school, secondary school there. So that's just where I was raised. I speak German, which is a completely useless language
Yeah.
here because no one speaks it. So
Well, I would tell you, if female bodybuilding channel, right?
uh-huh.
The guy that they speak German because one's in Norway, and so I know they will probably be
AJ. Yeah,
reaching
I
out
know
to you.
AJ. He speaks German.
AJ, yeah, AJ, he's in Norway, and then why's his name slipping my mind? But anyway, he speaks fluent German.
Okay.
His
Well,
partner.
I no longer speak fluent German because I haven't been
Hmm.
able to practice it for like what 20 plus years, but I
Right, right.
understand it fluently. Um, and what I typically do, just so that I don't completely lose it, because it's a great skill to be able to speak a different language, is
Right.
Netflix has gone international, and you can like see all sorts of shows in different languages. So I'll
Yeah, it's
watch a
pretty
lot of
cool actually. Yeah.
yeah. There are African shows, Nigerian movies on there. It's like amazing. But I will intentionally watch German movies in
Hmm.
German, but subtitled in English, just to just to practice and keep that skill alive. Um, but yeah, I think I was there till I was 16, and then we moved to Canada. So I spent
Hmm.
1 year in Canada, Scarborough, Ontario.
Okay.
And then I left when I was 17. I got admitted to University of North Carolina in Baltimore. No,
Ah,
University
okay.
of Baltimore County, and that's where I did my undergrad.
Okay.
Yeah,
And where did you meet your husband at?
in North Carolina.
Okay. Well, there you go. Tar Heels. How do you like North Carolina?
It's a great place to raise kids. I'm
Hmm.
actually glad that I settled down here because I was a little wild when
Oh,
I was
okay.
up in Baltimore. And I spent a year in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah.
I did my
Oh, yeah.
residency training there. And
Right.
so I was a little running around there too.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a different lifestyle. Those two areas,
It's a different
Baltimore and
lifestyle.
Atlanta.
Yeah, so North Carolina kind of settled Vera down.
Hmm.
Had kids and stuff, so it's been nice. And I live in the country, and it's weird because I live in the country, and I kind of grew up
Hmm.
in the country in Vienna,
Okay.
but I live kind of in the outskirts of town, a lot of land, and I hang out on farmland with my
Hmm.
daughter because she goes
Hmm.
horseback riding.
Yeah.
Um, and I enjoy it. I really like that environment.
Yeah. And I was looking I was at your page and everyone sees it. Uh, you're riding on a horse. You do a lot of cosplay. And of course, everyone loves your physique. But when you look at that, what would you say is your alter ego?
My alter ego.
Yeah.
Um,
Because I mean, I love if everyone see your page, all the cosplay, you go from horseback riding to the cowgirl, then you did like some medieval stuff. And I was like, okay, great range.
yeah. So yeah, I've done quite a bit. I think most of the cosplay I've done have represented like strong black women,
Hmm.
warrior like figures. So I've done
Yep.
like Ambessa from Arcane. I've done the Dora Milaje women from Black Panther. So most
Yep.
people might
Yep.
think that that's my alter ego,
Yeah.
but I would say that my alter ego is, and it's kind of a mixture between my alter ego and someone that just inspires me deeply,
Hmm.
and that is Grace Jones.
Yes.
Grace
Yes.
Jones.
And
I relate to her fierce style, her bold and provocative nature, her
Yes.
individuality, that she just didn't give a damn. Like she
Yep.
was who she was, front and center in your face.
Yep.
And she really challenged societal norms. She challenged what's beauty standards. And I think a lot of women in bodybuilding can relate to that. And I can relate to that especially. I think my presence, especially in the African community, especially in the African community, really challenges conventional standards. In the African community, there's only one standard of beauty. You got to be big, curvy. You got to be bottom heavy, big ass. You got to be able to shake all that. And I know it's nice to watch. It's nice to look at it. I enjoy watching it too. But we're not all built like that. Even without the muscle, before I got muscular. I've been very athletic. I'm very lean. I have narrow hips, and that's just my physique. And beauty shapes comes in very different shapes. And so I want to. I'm not necessarily. I don't want to force myself on people, but I want to show them that there's other things other than that one standard that you see in videos. I feel like young girls, you're
that
just
European look that people put out there.
Yeah, you're just forcing that one look on them, and I want to show them a variety. And so
that's definitely what's so unique about, as you mentioned, a warrior like Amazons, and that's where the name's sprung from, because everybody may not see themselves as an Amazon, but all women are Amazons because of what they go through, the warrior mentality. If you overcame anything, whether it's survivor of cancer or divorce, you're a warrior. And so that epitomizes that. But you nailed it. That is your alter ego, no question, Grace Jones.
Right.
And when you mention that, it's like, yeah, that's it. And I think about the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie that she played in with him. So that's you.
Yeah, and I'm starting to look at her, like her catalog, to kind of see what I might be able to be inspired by, so that the next photo shoot or project that I do, it might kind of represent or honor her, because I really do love her style. And I've gotten some compliments too, that in some ways I remind them of her. I know I've got a short haircut and that type of thing. But
now you just got to get the mohawk.
I got to get the mohawk.
You can already ride a horse, right? So it's already there.
Well, my daughter, my daughter rides horse. I've gotten on a horse. I don't know that I can ride right.
Well, we're gonna have to plan that around. But yeah, so that's your alter ego, Grace Jones. I love her song "Slave to the Rhythm." So that's you.
Yeah, and what I really want to share when I'm showcasing these different things, it's not that I'm just trying to be flamboyant for flamboyant's sake. This is me. This is just how I want to express myself when I'm doing it. Whether you like it or not, I enjoy it. I really like to see muscles on a woman move. And not necessarily, on stage or in the gym. I like to see it, just the natural movement of the muscle when a woman is walking, when you're just doing normal everyday activities. So sometimes a lot of videos, stories, posts, is just me in my kitchen. I'm not faking it. I'm just cooking with my daughter, and I like to watch it back and just see how beautiful the muscles are moving. And I think a lot of my followers enjoy that too,
I was just looking up Conan the Destroyer. That was the movie. I could not think of it.
Gotcha.
Or Grace Jones, 1984. Grace Jones and Arnold Schwarzenegger. But more I was flipping through the pictures, that's you.
Yeah, I need to get that mohawk.
Yeah, there you go.
I need to grow my hair to get that mohawk.
There you go. Yes, perfect. And I got a sword at the house here.
I got swords too. I got swords. I got shields. I got spears.
But your movement is so natural and inherent. And as you said, you're right. You being African and Nigerian, it all comes out. And from the Black Panther movie. So I mean, have you ever considered acting? Because I mean, You got all the movement.
I have not, but I'm waiting for them to discover me.
There you go.
I'm waiting for I just posted an Mbessa reel. I mean, I look amazing in that. And
you
that
do.
I just put that outfit together. I'm waiting for what's that studio? I'm waiting for them to discover me and to cast me. Whether I'm an extra in the back, just doing whatever.
They need to make an Amazon's movie, or maybe another Wonder Woman movie, the Amazons, or again, anything warrior like that. That's you.
Yeah.
And then the Grace Jones outfits, your whole persona does speak to that. So, and I don't know if that's more of you being Nigerian background, or basically that's just your flow, but your persona and your whole character and movement, that's what drew me to you. I'm like, okay, because you can pose your ass off.
So I will share something that I learned about myself. So I'm in the medical field, right?
Right.
Very type A personality, blue type personality. I've taken a lot of personality tests, and there's that in me. But within those personality tests, there's always this one caveat that comes out that says you've got a creative side, and that you should be doing something expressive, something creative that doesn't gel with my profession, pharmacy, hospital pharmacy. I mean, what's creative about that? And I have found that over the years, I have delved into things to allow me to express that creativity. And once I found bodybuilding, it was almost like this light bulb just opened. It was like the stage just felt like I belonged. It just allowed me to be free in terms of my body, using my body as art, using my body language to express myself.
Yes.
What I wear, everything. It just kind of came together. And I found so much joy in expressing myself through my physique, through bodybuilding, on the bodybuilding stage. So I think now I've kind of found it's allowed me to come full circle and make sure my whole self is being expressed. At work, where I'm more focused on, the mental challenge, but then on the bodybuilding stage, and, with this whole artistry allowing me to be creative in the ways that I express myself. And it's been very, very, very fulfilling.
Yeah. And it comes out in your posing, of course, on stage, you being in the physique, or the figure, not physique. You could do physique, but the figure division.
I miss the heels, though. I love my heels.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Grace Jones didn't really have heels, but yeah. We'll have to figure that part out. But tell me, how did you end up? Were you always figure from the jump?
Yeah, like my body just naturally was figure. I had I've always had these broad shoulders that I've not always fully embraced. But then I found figure, and I'm like, oh, this is where I belong.
Yeah.
So figure, and I've also I naturally carry a little bit more muscle than the average woman. So figure just kind of spoke to me. And when I look at the figure women, especially the top Olympians, I'm just attracted to that physique. I just think they look beautiful. I think that physique is a superhero woman physique. That's to me. Now, WPD, women's physique, is also close, but I think figure they just look like superheroes. And I just think that physique is beautiful, and I've always been attracted to it. Now, when I switched over I started off in the natural orgs, OCB.
Right.
When I decided to test my toes in NPC, I did feel like maybe I was too small for IFBB figure. I'm tall, and so I'm tall. I'm kind of stretched out. I'm really tall for the figure competitor. The average figure competitor is like what, 5'4" maybe.
Yeah. And you're 5'9", right?
Yeah, I'm 5'9". So they look huge. They just grow out. I grow like I just stretch this way, right?
Yep.
It's hard for me to like grow out wide. So for a moment, I thought maybe I needed to switch to bikini to just
Really?
stop working my upper body
Mm-hmm.
and just
You be too far muscular for bikini for
because
sure. But
I'm
yeah,
slender. I'm fairly slender.
yeah.
I feel like
Oh,
I could
no
downsize
doubt you
my
can pull it off.
I
Yeah,
could
you can pull it
downsize
off.
my arms and my
Yeah.
shoulders and just work it like once every 2-3
Mm-hmm.
weeks.
There you go. So you were always figure.
I was always
That,
figure.
that's
Yeah,
interesting. Normally,
yeah.
girls will say or competitors will say they came from bikini or they started with bikini. Maybe that was their comfort zone, but you were figure from the jump
I've always been figure, and honestly, I have no desire to go anywhere else.
to go up. Okay,
I have no desire to go up.
and
I've
because
thought
you are no,
I've
go ahead.
thought about wellness, but my
Really?
damn
Okay.
legs won't grow.
Yeah, yeah.
This is
I
my
can see that.
structure. This is my structure. My legs are the way they are. They just don't want to
Mhm.
grow the way that you need it for
Right.
wellness. But yeah.
But it plays right into that V taper with figure. I mean, it
Uh-huh.
really does.
Hmm.
Second at the Triple O Dynasty, what did Sid Gillian say to you, if anything?
Um, I was not able to talk to Sid after my show. I did talk to
Mm.
Sandy,
Mm-hmm.
um, and she shared that I have a great. She was very impressed by my stage presence. She thinks my
Right.
physique looks beautiful. That was my first show in 2 years,
Really?
stepping back on stage, and I did have a little bit of nerves.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
had some nerves on stage. I was very like impressed by the women that was on that stage. I mean, I did
Right.
not think I would do as well as I did. I mean, I saw these girls. I was like, oh, that's number one. That's number two
Yeah.
right there. And so my my presentation was not the best. I was disappointed in myself in my presentation at the Arizona stage, and the judges shared that with me. You know that they
Mm-hmm.
could see some of those nerves, which I controlled a little bit better in my
Right.
second show because I did back to back shows, like
Right.
back to back peak weeks. So in Oklahoma, I did a little bit better, but so yeah, so the feedback was very positive. It did give me encouragement to continue to
Mm-hmm.
pursue this goal that we have to maybe make it to the Olympia stage.
Right.
Yeah,
When did you turn pro?
I turned pro in 2022.
Okay.
2022.
The-
I did. Um, so let me share that history. So I
Mhm.
like I said, I when I started, I joined a natural organization, and I was
Mhm.
planning to compete in 2020.
Right.
COVID happened, everything
Yeah.
shut down. Very disappointed. I kept waiting for a show to open. A show never opened. Finally, in November, a show opened. It was an NPC show. It was
Mhm.
the Muscle Elite.
Mhm.
Do you know that show?
Well, I saw your interview um, with J.M. Mannion looking through MP News online. But like I said, I was trying to find out.
that's not the show.
That's not the
This
show,
this
but I'm
is
trying to
back
find
in
out what that I could.
2020. This was
Yeah.
2020. That was the very first time I stepped on stage was in an NPC show. And at
Right.
that time I actually qualified for that. I didn't win, but I think I might have come second. I qualified for nationals.
Okay.
But I wasn't planning to do NPC. That just wasn't my goal. So I went back to the OCB, and that's where I stayed for the next like 2-3 years.
Okay.
And then I decided to try another NPC show in 2022, and that was the Ben Weeder,
Yep. Okay.
which I won.
Yep.
I just happened to win, and that's how I got my pro card.
Good deal.
Was the Ben Weeder Naturals. So I won my pro card there. I took another year-ish off. I stepped back on stage at the Masters World Championships in Pittsburgh,
Right. Yep.
and I won that show. And that
Yeah, and that's
qualified
where I
me.
saw the interview. Yeah.
Yes, that's where you saw
With
the interview.
J.M.
Yep.
With
So
JM.
that
Yeah.
actually was my qualifier for this year's Masters Olympia, was winning that show in 2023.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Do you ever think, boy, I wish I'd have started sooner?
Yeah. I feel like I would have been a beast if I'd
Yeah.
started sooner.
You're a beast now.
I would have been something else if I'd
You
started
are a
sooner.
beast now. And you only been doing this for 5 years. And so you're still a baby to the sport when you think about it.
I'm a baby, but I'm an old baby, man, and my
Yeah.
joints are telling me go.
Yeah. But the muscularity is still not finished growing. And well, as they say, muscle maturity. So you're
Hmm.
definitely coming into that. I mean, I can see it. So I mean,
Yeah.
2 shows down this year. You want to do the Masters in Japan, obviously.
Hmm.
That's going to be a huge show.
That's
Um,
I'm
it
looking
really
forward to
is.
that show. Yeah.
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 Talk to me about all the logistics and everything that's going to go into that. Are you trying to take your family with you? Or are you going by
Oh
yourself?
no. No. They're just gonna weigh me down. No.
And then, of course,
Well,
the time off from work too. So that
yeah.
has to be managed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this will be my first time going to Asia. So I'm just looking forward to that experience. So I'm taking a
Hmm.
week off to like at least enjoy myself a little bit
Right.
in
Right.
Japan. So I just spent like a week looking for my American passport, which I just found yesterday. So
Boy, that should have been the first thing. Well, that's good. You have it now. Yeah.
I started applying for a
Huh.
passport, and then they denied me. They said, "Oh, you applied for a passport 6 years ago. You should have one." I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
really?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I applied for it when I went to Jamaica."
Right.
I
Exactly.
looked it
Yeah.
up,
There you
yeah,
go.
and I found it. Yeah, so I got my American passport. I've got my plane tickets. I've got my hotel. I've got my
Hmm.
roommate. So
Oh, you're set.
I'm set.
Talk to me about the prep going into it. It'll be in August.
It will be in August. So clearly, I don't have much. That's what 14 weeks out.
Yeah. Give or take.
I don't have much time to like really do a full bulk and a cut.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
working with my coach, Justin, we're just going to try to kind of stay fairly lean,
Hmm.
and do what we can with some of the judges' feedback to improve my physique, going into the Masters Olympia. But the last time I bulked, I got up to like close to 200 pounds, and
Wow.
that was a lot.
Yeah. But on your frame, being 5'9",
Being 5'9", it didn't
yeah,
look crazy.
yeah,
I
yeah.
still look pretty good.
I'm not thinking it's gonna look bad in your improvement season. So I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm very transparent.
Hmm.
I post almost daily. I'm
Hmm.
sharing my whole journey with my followers, because this year I just wanted to like soak everything in. I
Yeah.
want to soak the entire experience. I want to document the entire experience, not just for my followers, but for myself, so that I can look back at my stories, look back at my
Hmm.
reels when I'm older, and really just kind of admire and just be amazed by what I accomplished. So I'm really documenting everything. So you can look back and see what I looked like when I was 200
Yeah.
pounds.
But I mean, and that's so important because a lot of competitors will, and to each his own. And I understand that the privacy and the personal part of it will only do photo shoots when they're shredded,
Hmm.
but don't like to do them in the improvement season because it's
Hmm.
not an off season; it's an improvement season.
Yeah.
What do you like to do?
So I've not done that many photo shoots, really.
Hmm.
I happen to have done them around shows,
Hmm. Yeah.
just because I'm also amazed by what my physique looks like when I'm stage lean, and I want to
Hmm.
capture that as well.
Yes.
Um, but I also like what I look like when I'm at least, my preference is to be about 20 pounds heavier than my stage
Right.
weight.
Right.
I think I look phenomenal. And when I've posted like my bulk physique
Hmm.
versus my lean physique, and I share that with my followers, they prefer my heavier physique. I just look impressive with
Yeah.
the added weight, especially with my height.
Right. All
So
right.
yeah, so I think I really enjoy doing a shoot when I'm a little heavy. I just haven't had the
Okay.
opportunity to do that yet.
And it's so many looks and things that you can play on. Like I said,
Hmm.
not just the cosplay, but have you thought about um, doing runway, doing a fashion show?
I played around with fashion shows when I was in college.
Hmm.
That's kind of where I get my strut. If you see me walk, I walk with a
Yeah.
little bit of a sass because I used to do a little bit of runway modeling when I was younger.
Okay.
Um, but I mean, now the only type of runway that I could do would be like a fitness runway. I couldn't do like the regular because I'm just too. I mean, I just stand out like a sore thumb if I
You
went
sure about that? I
on
mean, I
the
don't know.
on a runway with
The
these
idea of I've always
girls.
had is a fashion fitness show. Because you got all those vendors with all the fitness clothing,
Yeah,
the fashion clothing from the standpoint of, hey, the night of Meet the Pros, Meet the Pros, what would you be wearing? And the gala that comes after, or gala, however you
hmm,
want to say it, that comes after uh, the Olympia, right? Everybody
right,
goes out to party, what you showing up in. And so,
right,
yeah,
right. Yeah.
but you wear it well, you look great, and that's hard to believe you haven't had that many photo shoots because you did well. Recently, you had a photo shoot, of course, with Amazon's Fitness magazine, and
Hmm.
I had to laugh because you had said you thought 2 or 3 times about not coming because you came all the way to Fayetteville, which I appreciate. And what when it did a play that was like, nah, I'm gonna go, or no, I'm not gonna go.
So primarily, I just done a photo shoot like maybe 2 weeks before.
Hmm.
Like I just done one, and it was a very elaborate. It was an all day. I had all these different costumes and things
Right,
I wore, different locations. So it was kind of a big deal. I was like, okay,
right.
that's done with. And then you kind of reached out to me like right after, and I was like, well, I've used up all my ideas. Like I was trying to
Yeah.
think of because I when I do a photo shoot, I really like to have a theme and just
Hmm.
really make it fun. Like
Yeah. Right.
I don't typically just do a regular shoot. I like to do something that's kind of fun and different. Um, so yeah, I kind of wafted a little bit when you reached out to me. But I'm very, 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 very glad that I accepted your offer, that I came because after seeing those pictures, I was blown away. I mean,
Yeah.
I had a hard time picking.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad because I was too. And coming soon, people are going to see it. So yeah, let's just hold on to them for a little bit longer. And yes, I am working on the edits, and of course, I'm working on the May issue to close that out. Then I'll go to
Mhm,
Pittsburgh this weekend. But
mhm.
yeah, looking forward to shooting you again
Absolutely,
soon,
absolutely.
maybe right after the Masters or whatnot. But yeah, you got a lot of elegance, you got a lot of stage presence, and it came through the camera lens. And I know it's only going to come out more on your stage presence and your posing. Um, because that whole V taper and the way that you're looking, you can see, it's kind of like when coaches go out in sports, football, and they go to recruit a student athlete, they
Hmm.
see them where they're gonna be, not where they currently are.
Right,
And you got
right.
a big future, no question.
Thank you.
Um, and so when you look at Japan, right,
Hmm.
Masters Olympia, Pittsburgh this weekend, Lola Montez, number 3 in the world.
Yep.
Masters Olympia, number 2 in the world, Jessica Reyes Padilla.
Hmm.
Now that Sid Gillian has retired, which
Hmm.
until, until what is it, October 4th, then I'll believe it. Which because she could go into prep right now and come back. So is she retired? I don't know. But when you look at the overall figure division and knowing what's out there, what's your thoughts? How do you feel the division is going? And especially when you look at the comparison of the physiques
Hmm.
and of course the whole V taper, what are
Hmm.
your thoughts? Give me some insight. Do you have a favorite besides yourself, of course, because you got to have yourself as a favorite.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm just blown away by like the top five figure athletes. I just think they all look a little bit different, but they all look amazing. So Lola Montez, I've been following her since she turned pro, and the minute I saw her physique and
Yes.
her flow, that girl is just something else. I mean,
Yeah. She has
your
an
eyes are
amazing
drawn. Your
personality with
eyes
that
are
with
drawn
the
to
physique.
that
Yeah.
that physique. I think last year, the past 2 years, I thought she was going to win because I just thought her
Hmm.
physique was just really, really impressive. Um, Now Jessica, I mean, she's got that muscle maturity
Hmm.
thing going. I mean, she just looks glorious. And to think that I might be standing next to her at the Masters Olympia is just. I hope my
Yeah.
nerves don't kick in again because I need to bring my A game
Yeah. Yeah.
if I'm going to be posing next to her. So clearly she's a favorite since she's number two.
Yeah.
Natalia, I think Natalia has an amazing shape.
Natalia
Natalia,
Coelho
so she's number,
in
I think,
figure.
in
Okay.
figure.
Yeah.
You know who
Okay.
I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I can't remember her last name. It starts with an
Yeah.
S. But
Okay.
I think her physique is beautiful as well.
Hmm.
Those are probably my top three is Natalia, um, Lola, and Jessica. But I mean,
Yeah.
there are a lot of great athletes out there.
Yeah. And then of course Missy Truscott's coming into figure now, from fitness.
She is. She is. The only thing is, I've never seen. Everyone looks impressive when you see them by themselves.
Right.
I've never
Right.
seen her standing next to a a figure competitor.
Right.
Um,
Right.
so we'll see. We'll see how
Yeah.
she does.
That's
But
definitely going to happen
she
soon.
certainly does have an impressive physique. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you thought about how long you want to do this? Do you have an exit strategy, or hey, I'm just getting started? I'm not even thinking that far down the road.
I've thought about it. I've
How far
thought
you want
about
to
it.
go?
I've I want to
Hmm.
get an Olympia qualification. So we're gonna try for that. We'll see.
Gotcha.
We'll see but I'm not gonna. It's not gonna be infinite. Just keep trying,
Hmm.
trying, trying.
Right.
If it doesn't pan out, then I mean, to me, qualifying for Masters Olympian and being on that stage is already like
It
far
is.
beyond what I ever imagined I'd be doing when I started.
You're right.
I
You're right.
never thought I'd be an IFBB pro, and here I am. I never thought
Exactly.
I'd
Not
get on the
everybody
mic.
gets that pro card.
You know,
Regardless of how many times people say there are too many pros,
um,
not everybody becomes a pro.
I'll be what? I'll be 48 in 3 weeks. My birthday is
Wow.
May 26th. I
You're
mean,
Gemini.
I'm just shy of 50, man. 5 decades
Ah,
old.
I thought you were going to say you were a Taurus because my birthday is next week.
Oh,
But you're a
really?
Gemini, so yeah.
I'm a Gemini, so
Y'all can't make up your
that's where
doggone
all of this
mind.
comes from.
Yeah, that's great. It's hard to
um,
believe you'll be 48 because
I'll
you
be 48. Yeah, so
you don't
I'm
look
up
nothing
there.
like that.
I'm up
I would
there.
have guessed late 30s.
Yeah,
You know, I
yeah.
would have guessed just now turning 40, but I certainly wouldn't have had 48. And I know they don't talk about a woman's age and stuff, but hey, you wear it well.
I
You look amazing.
Thank you. I started when I was 42. I mean, I started
Yeah,
real late,
yeah, and that part too. To think
real
you
late.
didn't get into this till in your 40s.
Yeah, yeah. So there is no excuse. All you women who are watching, if
Right.
talk about you're too old to do this, it's too late.
Exactly.
No,
It's
you are
not.
you are setting limits on yourself. No, if you put your mind to it and you put the time and energy and you prioritize whatever it is that you want to do, go do it. Live your life. You only have one life to live. I am not going to regret this experience one bit. If you never try something, you'll never know what you can't do. So, um, go for it.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Suit colors. What goes into that? What's your favorite suit color? Do you have one? Do you have a suit sponsor?
I have a so I have a suits um maker that I've pretty much
Hmm.
used for all of my IFBB shows. She sponsored me my first year. I'm trying to get her to continue to sponsor me.
And who was that?
It is a Flexibella Couture.
Okay.
Yes. So she does a lot of she does beautiful work. She does a lot of suits for a lot of top athletes. So
Hmm.
she's done my last two, three suits as well as my posing suits.
Right.
So she'll be working on a new suit for me for the Masters Olympia.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, suit color. It's you gotta. There's a lot of beautiful choices. I tend to stay in like the jewel tones.
Hmm.
I favor. I don't know, maybe because I'm old school. I favor gold accents as opposed to straight up like crystal, which is what
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
usually my earrings are like gold plated. My
Yep. Yep.
my my bikini has gold accents as opposed to just regular white, and that's just my preference. Whatever I choose has to like kind of match with like a gold accent.
Hmm.
But yeah, so we'll see. I'm excited about my new suit. We have picked a color,
Yep.
so
Not
I'll
gonna
be
tell
looking.
me?
I'm not going to tell you. I like to reveal
Okay, I got
little
you.
by little.
Uh, you said you consider figure a female superhero physique.
Yes.
So you believe that figure of these six divisions, now seven, but with the new bikini category that just came, the fit model
Hmm.
division.
Hmm.
When you look at Wonder Woman, the movie, would you categorize her as a figure or a bikini?
Oh no, figure.
Gail Gadot is, I think she's close to 5'9".
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I mean, I think if there was an actress
Uh huh.
who, if you could combine good acting skills with
Hmm.
the perfect physique, it would be you would combine it with figure because
Hmm.
first of all, is bikini is pretty.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they don't. I mean, I love bikini. I'm not putting down bikini at all. But
Uh
you
huh.
need that. You need that strength,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
muscle to kind of show through. So I would think it's between figure and WPD.
Not women's bodybuilding, and
Women's
not
body,
not not welding.
women's bodybuilding. I feel their size doesn't lend itself to the agility that you need to have if you're a superhero. If
Ah.
you're swinging from place to
Yep.
place, you're
Yep.
having to do all this stuff. I think you have to be a little bit um lean
Uh huh.
and
But
not carry as much muscle.
that would seem that would lend itself to fitness as
Yeah,
opposed to figure. Yeah,
yes. So fitness is the
because all
figure,
the athletics.
but fitness is the figure shape.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fitness is the figure, so it's still the figure shape that we're talking about.
Right. Yes. You. I would agree because Michelle Mensa
Uh-huh.
is one of my favorites in the fitness. Do you know who she is?
I know who she is. I follow her.
Yes.
She follows me as
Yes.
well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yes, absolutely.
Um,
Beautiful lady, inside
yeah.
and out.
And so, yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with you. And of course, Nubian, and of course that whole physique. Uh, and I had to see the DC comics and doing the photo shoot. I'd ask you, are you more DC comics or the what's the other one?
Marvel.
Marvel, yeah. But you couldn't make a decision, huh?
No, you should have prepped me for that so I could
So
set this
I'm gonna
right.
send you a picture of DC Comics Nubia. And so Nubia was the uh, sister of Wonder Woman. All right.
Oh,
So basically, she's a black Wonder Woman. But then
okay.
the whole backstory is the pigmentation, and she was on this side of the world. But it's pretty fascinating. But anyway, I'm gonna send you a picture of that, and now it definitely gives me a point of emphasis to shoot you some more ideas. Not that everything will be cosplay, and not that everything will be superhero, but what are some of the other shoot ideas, a shoot that you want to do that you haven't done?
So I did do a couple. So, like I said, I did a shoot recently that involved shooting around horses.
Mm-hmm.
So I really wanted to do like a cowgirl type, country
Yep,
girl
I saw.
type
Yeah.
shoot.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that. I want to do a shoot inspired by Grace Jones' catalog. I have not done that yet,
Yep.
so that's something that is not superhero inspired at all. That I'm looking forward to. Um, I'd like to do a shoot around uh, like a soldier
Mm-hmm.
type shoot
Okay.
with some accessories.
I got you. Weapons and all, and
Yeah,
yeah,
with some weapons,
yeah.
just a fun little cutesy shoot.
I think you need to start going to auditions, and to be honest, because I think there's a lot of acting in there.
Mhm,
After the in the improvement season, of course. But yeah,
mhm.
uh, definitely personality and your persona came out through the lens. So I
Yeah.
got no idea, no doubt that is that your next show you're just gonna keep improving and go as far as you want to go. Last question. I want you to close out on this. And of course, we'll be talking more and actually two part. So the first part, since coming back from Nigeria, you found that you do your own meal prep, correct? 80 to 90%, you were saying?
Um, yes, I prep pretty much most of my meals at home. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's your mainstay as far as meat? Is it fish? Is it
Sal- Salmon and
okay.
ground beef
Okay.
are my
Gotcha.
two primary, yeah, meats.
And of course your coach is Justin Harrell, I think.
Yes,
Yep.
yes,
How
yes.
did you meet him?
I've been with him for a year.
Okay. So y'all just got together.
We just got together, yeah. So um, yeah, I was just scouting for a new coach, and I was looking at some of the top athletes this past
Mm-hmm.
year. I was really impressed by why does her name escape me? But one of his athletes who came, I think she actually came third or fourth
Mm-hmm.
in the last two Olympias. I was just really impressed by her physique.
Right.
It just looked, it just looked just natural, healthy. Her shape just looked perfect, and I was like, you know what? That's something that like I want to build a shape that just doesn't look overly. I mean, yeah, you have to be pretty impressive on the
Right.
Olympia stage, but I wanted to just look complete. Um, and so I reached out to him. I shared some of my goals and some of my
Mm-hmm.
restrictions because at 47, 48, I got issues.
Yeah.
I'm not like a young spry,
Right.
So I've got injuries that I have to work around.
Right.
So making sure that he was considerate of that, he was flexible and his work options that he has, program that he has for me. And then I really wanted to kind of enjoy my bulk and my prep. Um, and some of my past coaches, not all of them, but some of my past coaches have been very strict about what they want me to eat. And they're just
Right.
some things that they just don't appeal to my palate at all, to the point where I can't be 100% compliant because like trying to eat some of these things like makes me want to throw up. I mean, it
Yeah.
wasn't working.
Right.
Justin kind of worked with me to actually include some African staples
Mm-hmm.
that I've been able to just carry through my entire prep, even like up to like show day or the night before.
Right.
I was eating
Right.
my Nigerian yam, my Ghanaian yams, which is just awesome.
Uh-huh.
It just made that prep so enjoyable, so enjoyable. So yeah, so I do cook primarily most of my food at home. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Last question, last point.
Mm-hmm.
How do you manage it all? Wife, mother, pharmacist, while still competing and having your own time. Obviously, it must have really tested you coming through COVID to manage all these things. But how are you doing now when you think of that? Because husband's got to have his time, kids got to have their time, and of course, you got to have time for yourself.
Mm-hmm. So I guess I was fortunate in having started a little bit later when my
Hmm.
kids are older. You know, my kids are 16 and 17. I
Hmm.
mean, they really don't care where mom's at. They couldn't care less. Most of the time, they're
Yeah,
in their room, they're on the computer. So I have had a little bit more time that I could just take to myself because they're just not needing
right.
mommy around as much. Um, so that was helpful. Um, but really, it just comes to what you prioritize. It honestly comes down to what you prioritize. Because if I had chosen not to prioritize the gym, I mean,
Hmm.
I could always find an excuse to say I don't have the time. I need to
Right.
come
Right.
home. I need to do this as a mother, as a wife, my work. You can always find time to say that I don't have time to go to the gym.
Hmm.
But if you prioritize, there's some days where I have to wake up at 4 a.m., God forbid,
Yes.
to get my cardio in. You
Yeah.
know, so you find that time, you make that effort, you carve out that time, and it does eat into other things. Um,
Hmm.
but you have to have supportive family, you have to have supportive friends who understand
Right.
what your goals are. And they also recognize that in taking care of yourself, your desires, your needs that benefit just you, you're not doing it for anyone else but yourself. You are making sure that you are able to be present wholly and give fully to your friends, to your family, to your relationships, to your encounters, because there's not that thing in you that you want to do that you're holding back. You're
Right.
taking care of yourself, you're filling yourself up so that you're able to give back. So even though I don't spend as much time, but the time that I do spend, they're with a mother, a wife that is happy, that is fulfilled, that is content. And they can and so they appreciate that time more. And everyone's happy. If mommy's happy, everyone's happy.
There you go. Well said. Thank you so much for your time. Vira Madueme. Say it for me one more time.
So the way you pronounce it in my
Madueme.
Madueme, you have to like pronounce every single letter. Madueme.
But I
Yes.
see that African accent coming out too. So I gotta get in character. Thank you so much for joining me, or shall I say, Grace Jones. That's your alter ego. Now we got it down. So embody that and so much more. So yeah.
Thank
Thanks for
you
coming
very
on. I really appreciate you.
Thank you very much for having me. I really enjoyed this conversation. Loved our time and in the
Yes.
photo shoot booth. I can't wait to share those pictures with our followers. I think they're really going to be pleased.
You're gonna love it. And yeah, coming out next Friday, I'll drop the magazine and we'll see.
Okay.
And everybody
Awesome.
was like, yes, but love the physique, love our shoot, and looking forward to doing so much more. Thanks for
Thank
talking
you.
to me.
All
All
right.
right. Bye
Bye.
bye. Vera Madueme. There you have it. IFBB figure, soon to be a Olympian, figure pro, but soon to become an Olympian. Amazing figure. Hard to believe that she's about to turn 48 years old, which is crazy because I didn't have her. The oldest I would have had her is at 40. So amazing person as well. Enjoyed talking to her, enjoyed shooting her. Happy birthday go out to Nikki Politi. She's on the cover of the the March issue of Amazon's Fitness magazine, and she was on the March issue in 2024, or the January issue of 2024. Amazon's Fitness Magazine. So happy birthday to her. Go out and buy the magazine. If you go to amazonsfitmag.com and you click on issues, and then you can just buy the magazine that way. It'll take you to the magazine stand. And of course, a happy birthday goes out to women's bodybuilder on the October cover of 2024, Sherry Priami. Happy birthday to her today. And it was amazing to see that. So that's ironic, but love those cover models, love the shoots with them. And you can get a copy of the Amazon's Fitness Magazine if you go out to amazonsfitmag.com, click on issues, and just follow the prompts. This weekend, Pittsburgh Pro Festival, going out there. Hope to see everyone there. If you see me, say hello. Still booking shoots for that time, going out there to support, of course, support Amazon's Fitness Magazine sponsored athlete Melissa Guerrero. And of course, you look at the divisions, all the women's divisions are on Sunday. When you look at women's physique, Natalia Coelho, Sharonica Hinton, 2 and 3 at the Olympia. So they're on stage. And of course, in figure, Lola Montez. So it's a heavy slate, big, huge show of women competitors and women Olympians competing on Sunday. So come check it out. If you can't, buy the live stream, but I'll be there. And it's always great to see them up close and in person. Celebrate the female physique. Thanks to all the new subscribers to the website and, of course, to the YouTube channel and Instagram. Celebrate the female physique and subscribe. Continue to subscribe to AmazonsFitMag.com. And I will see you guys soon. I'll see you in Pittsburgh on Sunday. Talk soon.